Notice here, notice that here I'm getting an access denied error, right? What's happening here is that the client is running on port 3000, right? And we're trying to hit our server that is running on port 4000, right? And typically that would not be allowed. Actually, the browser is stopping me from doing that, right? Um, Early on, when JavaScript came out and folks were trying to build applications and say, hey, download this JavaScript and run it on your local machine. People say, you're crazy. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to download executables and running on my machine. That's no way. So there was a lot of effort at convincing folks that that was actually safe. We're going to create a walled garden, and the application, the code is only going to execute in this walled garden. It's not going to have access to your file system. It's not going to make weird network connections everywhere. Instead, we're only going to allow it to have very limited network connectivity, right? So if your JavaScript is downloaded from port 3000, it's only allowed to talk to the original server where it's downloaded from, right? It can talk only to local 3000. Instead, if it wants to go to 4000, the browser is going to go out to that server and say, hey, server, is it okay if this other script talks to you? And if the server doesn't explicitly allow it, the browser is going to stop it. Right? It's going to stop the network access. Make sense? All right, so we need to configure our server to allow the request to come in from a separate machine, from a different IP address. Make sense? All right. Yes. Yeah. So that server OMDB is configured to allow the request. Notice that the request that went out to network here, if I refresh, right? If we look at the query that went out to Batman, there it is. The headers. If we look at the here, somewhere here says course. I can't find it. I think in the response that comes back, it says course. Course means cross-origin resource sharing, meaning across multiple domains, it is okay to share resources across different domains. And the server has been configured to allow this. Yeah, most servers today, modern services support that. If you're going to Yelp or Facebook, Twitter, Barnes & Noble, are they still around? Yeah, still around. Amazon, right? All these services, right? They configure the servers to allow access from anywhere, right? They want you to interact and use their services. But so we have to do the same thing with our servers. Let's do that. So here I have a cheat sheet on how to do just that. Right. So we need to configure the access control, and then we can say, where do we want to allow the request to come from? You can specify exactly that it's only allowed from these domains, or you can say I allow anybody. I don't care who it is. Just bring it on. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it in our server. So let's go back to our server. There it is. Right, and it has to be done right after the express. Right here. So I'm going to open up and I'm going to paste that in. And so what this is doing is that the .use, what it does is that you're creating an interceptor that says that I'm going to intercept all the incoming requests, right? And I'm either going to let them through or not, okay? And so here is it's configuring the response, right? Meaning it's going to respond back to the client, right, to the browser. The browser is first going to ask for permission. Yes? The server is going to respond with yes. I allow everything. I allow get, I allow post, I allow put, I allow delete, I allow everything. Go ahead, send me anything you want. I also allow a login, right, cookies to be able to keep track of the user, things like that. And we're going to open up to everybody. We're going to say, I don't care who it is. Whoever the domain it is, I'll allow it. Okay? And then it says next. Next meaning let it go through. Let the request go through, right? If you're asking it through. So let's do that. Let's restart our server. The server is here. Let's restart the server. Let's go back to our React client that was failing before. was this one right here. Let's clear out the console. Let's refresh. Okay, so notice that now we don't have the error, right? We no longer have the error. And notice that Terminator 2 is coming back as our liked movie. Right? We do like that movie, and somebody had stored it there prior, right? What we'd like to be able to do now is instead, if we click on Batman or whatever, maybe put here a little heart or star or something, and then send that data back to the server for storage. All right, so let's do that next.